do things in a different way. But I didn't feel that I could do that.
Hmm.
And one of the indicators that I also had was that every day when I went to work, like it wasn't like it was like bad or something was like wrong, but I felt like a little piece of my soul was being taken away.
Hmm.
Like,
As soon as we realize that what feels safe actually isn't safe at all, can be quietly destroying our lives. That
mm,
thing that feels scary suddenly doesn't feel as scary. It's on the same plane as everything else.
mm, really interesting because what I hear is that when you say like when you help people see that something is not safe and it's actually unsafe, then actually they get more safety because they are more prepared for that. It's
Yeah.
like a paradox. Yeah. I also consider myself as somebody who is like a catalyst for dreams.
Ah,
So I'm
yes.
always looking for, I call them dusty dreams, because they're always there, but there's like some layers on top of it. So they're like a little bit like forgotten and dusty. Some people call them Rembrandts in the attic.
Right.
It's like when you have a valuable Rembrandt, but it's just sitting there collecting dust.
Hey, it's Cheri. Before we begin, I want to ask you something. Have you ever built a life that feels successful on the outside, but inside it feels like it's quietly draining you? In today's conversation, you'll discover what it feels like when someone realizes that what feels safe is quietly draining their soul. And we'll talk about dusty Rembrandts, those times in which we hold back from what we really want in life, and why saying yes works until you want something else. If you feel a quiet ache for something more, don't miss this. Hey, hey, there he
Hey,
is.
here I am, and here you are.
Yes. I see a picture behind you and a plant. Nice.
Yep, a little bit of upgrade.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
And you have plenty of pictures there as well
Yes.
behind you.
Yes, it is all the awards that I won in landscape design and architecture.
I can see there are many.
Yes, yes, there are a few.
Mm.
Yeah. So this is
Yeah,
so
it's
good. So good. Let's just warm up and connect a little bit before we dive in, just to get the energy rolling. And I was reading a post that you had put on LinkedIn about making choices, saying yeses and nos to things. And I thought, yeah, I can totally relate to that. There was a time in my life when I said yes to everything, and there wasn't any room for the things that were really truly aligned. And it's kind of it's a counterintuitive truth that you have to start saying no to actually create space in your life for things that matter.
absolutely. Yeah, it's important, definitely. Yeah. Well, the yeses brought us to a certain level, but after that, well, when the game changes, the rules change as well.
Yeah, exactly. It works at first, but then,
It works. It actually works. Yeah, saying yes to everything works.
yeah,
But for what?
yeah,
If we want
right,
something else, it doesn't work anymore.
right, for
Yeah. So
burnout.
everything actually works. It's a perfect system for getting what you want.
Hmm.
Yeah. It's like I love these mind games.
Yeah,
Yeah, to
yeah.
see how things actually work.
Hmm.
Yeah, until they don't, if you want something else. That's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Did you?
congratulations for launching the masterpiece.
Ah, thank you.
Yeah, you have some really cool guests there as well. And yeah, I can see that growing and making an impact.
Yeah. It's the people I always think of, like, who are the people that I resonate with, that I'm excited to talk to, and then I bring them on, and the insights are always incredible and the magic is always there. Um, And it just comes from that place, of wanting to take people from that place of having to work, hundreds of hours in something that they literally created almost a box for themselves, a trap for themselves. They trap themselves in their creation and they don't know how to get out. And then there's this longing that they want to go after, this thing that brings them fulfillment and meaning and contributes to the world. And that gets put off, We think someday,
Mm.
someday when, okay, when I build that product, when I have the team, when I when my kids are older, right? And it always gets put off into the future. Instead of being in the now of, you know what? Maybe like it's not going to be a time when, it's a time now to actually integrate that in to what you're doing. And that's, to me, that's beautiful work because I spent many years building a business that I was very proud of, but also felt trapped in, the
Mm.
hours, the team, the partnerships, the endless design work, right? And part of it is just realizing you have an inner calling that is not to be denied because when you push it down, you're not living that full life.
Yeah, I really like that. Yeah, I also consider myself as somebody who is like a catalyst for dreams.
Ah,
So I'm
yes.
always looking for, I call them dusty dreams, because they're always there, but there's like some layers on top of it. So they're like a little bit like forgotten and dusty. Some people call them Rembrandts in the attic.
Right.
It's like when you have a valuable Rembrandt, but it's just sitting there collecting dust, and you're not even aware of that because there's
Mhm.
just so much clutter on top of it, so you don't even notice that. And when somebody comes there like, "Hey, you have a Rembrandt there. Did you know that?" Maybe it's time to like dust it off and show it to the world.
Mm. Why do you think we let our dust collect on our Rembrandts?
I mean, part of it is due to today's world because there's so much information, there's so many options. I mean, like a few hundred years ago, we didn't have many options.
Mhm.
Like there were just like a few professions that you could be doing in your region, and based on who you are, maybe it's, based on who your parents were. But now there's so many options, and I think we are not primed for dealing with so many options.
Yeah.
Because we know that when humans have more than three options, then something happens in the brain. Like there's gonna be some kind of short circuit. It's
Hmm.
really difficult to decide, and just like we're spreading our focus so thin, and we don't even notice like what's important and what's not.
Mm.
Not taking time to slow down and reflect. You know, like you said, like um, when you were doing the business, and you were busy, you loved it, but you were so busy, but you didn't have time to actually reflect on what what you're doing and where is it taking you, or where do you even want to go.
Yeah. Mm. So, what was the moment in which you realized that you had a Rembrandt that was dusty and it was like an unspoken desire that you wanted to lean into?
Hmm. It was probably when I started looking into coaching because I had done personal development for a long time, and like 17 years, but at this point I probably had done it like 12 or 13 years. But I started getting really inspired by really good coaches, and for me that was something that just didn't go away. I mean, I knew I wanted that. It took me a couple of years actually to decide and commit to that journey.
Mm.
But that was when I noticed that. And for me, that was inside of me, definitely, because I allowed personal development. And it's not just about me developing myself. Later, I realized that personal development is less about myself, but actually developing other people. And as I love this personal development so much, I wanted to give the gift to other people as well. I wanted them to experience that.
Mm.
And in a way, I mean, I use the word selfish, but it's not literally selfish because it's actually giving to other people. Is that I wanted to be engaged in my profession with personal development. I
Mm.
didn't want to do something else on the side, and then there would be personal development. I
Yeah.
wanted to integrate all of those, and yeah, especially when doing life book and having all of these different life categories like health and career and emotions and so on. I wanted to integrate as many things as possible.
Mm.
And that's when I understood that I actually want to make like a profession or a calling out of it.
Right. Mm. And when I hear in there is there's the shift internally to this like awareness that you actually wanted your life to be aligned to the things that really mattered. And it's like it's not just the Rembrandt, but it's that awareness that, oh wow, I, I can actually integrate these things and align them. Would you describe that as like what shifted internally for you that really changed everything and took you on that journey?
Yeah, definitely. I think the alignment is a pretty accurate word for that. Um, yeah, it has appeared into my consciousness, the word alignment, and I wanted each part to work together
Mm,
and reflect of who I am. What I do as a profession, where I live, how I show up. I wanted everything to be an expression of who I am. And I have to say that it hasn't been like an easy journey as well.
mm,
Yeah, because of the conditioning, because
mm,
there were
yes,
years, even decades of conditioning and like how things normally are, how they should be
right.
in society.
Mm,
And for many people, it's difficult to understand. And for me, it's been also difficult to actually stay on that journey. But I have.
mm,
And I think the gift of staying on that journey is to show other people that it's possible.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Show them what they think is impossible and is not possible for them, and show them that everything is possible, that they can grab onto and imagine, and that their life can be living in a more fulfilled state. So what would you say is like, tell us a little bit about your journey. Like you went from, it sounds like being unaligned, like feeling like things were not aligned and you were kind of running this program. Tell us a little bit about that and how you transformed that piece.
Yeah. Before I ventured into coaching, I was an entrepreneur already for about 4 years.
Mm.
And I would pretty much start from before the time I was an entrepreneur. So I was actually working a lot as a construction worker, and my dad was a construction worker. So you get the point, right? It was
Right.
something that I learned to do, and it was just something that kind of paid the bills and so on. But what I felt was that it wasn't giving me the freedom
That
that I wanted, that
you,
I craved
what were
for.
the programs you
Because
identified
whenever I
and
was
targeted
working
to
in
shift
some sort of an organization
that
or a
allowed you to
company,
start
I felt
believing
that there was
in
always a limitation.
your a future that
Like
you weren't
Yeah.
experiencing
who
yet?
who I was, I felt like I wasn't like fitting in there.
Mm.
Good I just wanted to expand and do things in a different way, but I didn't feel that I could do that.
Mm.
And one of the indicators that I also had was that every day when I went to work, like it wasn't like it was like bad or something was like wrong, but I felt like a little piece of my soul was being taken away.
Mm.
Like
Hmm.
that's the best way I can describe it.
Yeah.
It was like it was suppressing my creativity and my freedom
Mm.
every single day.
Yeah.
So that was something I didn't really I like, and I knew that I had to make a change.
So
And yeah.
what were the programs you identified and targeted to shift that allowed you to start believing in your a future that you weren't experiencing yet?
Hmm. Good question. Yeah, I think one of those was that I need to have a lot of money to start my own business,
Mm.
to feel safe. Because when I was thinking I was getting a paycheck every month, which was okay, but it wasn't anything like a huge thing. But I think I had like savings for about 4 months. And then I was thinking like, okay, maybe I can survive for 4 months, but what else? Like what then? I couldn't see past the 4 months because what's
Mm.
gonna happen then? What if
Right.
my business is not making any money? And that was really scary.
Mm. Yeah.
And what the shift was, what I made through was that I realized that it's more to do with my creativity. It's not about having like a lot of money as a safety net, but
Right.
to be more creative. Whenever I've had a moment where I'm required to do something, there is a strong necessity. I
Mm.
know that every time I've made a jump, I've made it, and this is what entrepreneur gave me was the ability to create
Mm. Hmm.
because I just had to.
Yeah. It's
It
the
it,
must
it is
do
it is
moment,
scary.
right? It's when
It is
we
scary.
have that moment where we have to do
Yeah.
something and there is no choice. That we actually summon a strength that we didn't think we had. We summon our creativity, we summon a direction that we didn't really think about before because we're like, I have to. I have to do this. Um, now that's really interesting. So what would you say then is some of the magic that unfolded when you transformed that belief? When you started leaning into creativity and realized all you needed was, oh, I can always figure it out. I can always get creative. What's some of the magic that unfolded? And then I want to talk about the challenges.
Hmm. Hmm. I think the magic that happened was that things became possible. Like creating my own path and not looking for like approval from anybody, like from my boss, for example. Now it was up to me to take responsibility.
Mm.
And definitely like living became so much more peaceful because when we're talking about masterpiece, like
Yeah.
it's two words, master and peace. And
Yeah.
we're always looking for that peace.
Hmm.
But if we are like we are thinking that money is bringing safety for us and it's making us feel secure, and it really doesn't. And I think that really helped with that because I wasn't so worried about it anymore. It's
Hmm.
like, okay, if something happens, I'm still able to figure it out. And some really cool co-creations have happened.
Mm.
Yeah, with other entrepreneurial people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Things that
and
you didn't expect that
I
you
I didn't I
couldn't
didn't
see.
expect those.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
and it's when we're looking for a specific type of people, like some incredible people, like bold people who do incredible things.
Yeah.
Then what I realized as the magic is that I have to be that person too.
Right.
If I'm not, we're attracting and resonating with people who are similar to us, like we're on
Right.
the same frequency. But I have to make that step as well.
Right, you have to be a peer in that group, and peer to peer being the people that inspire you. Now you're creating inspiration for them as well. Yeah. And it co-creates things that there's a synergy of energy and inspiration and a feeling of peace. There's peace and passion. Uh when we have the blinders on and we're striving for something, we maybe have a goal. It's like, I'm going to get to this no matter what. The problem with that is we can't actually see all the things, the opportunities, the synchronicities, the magic that could unfold because we're so focused on getting to the destination. We're driving 60 miles an hour down the road. We don't see all the opportunities to co-create, to create meaning, to get fulfillment. And then we get there and we think, huh, this isn't what I thought it would be.
It happens very often. This is a topic that I'm really fascinated about as well. Like the ability to see further ahead already.
Right.
Because let's say we jump into something, a project or a business, and it might take us 7 years to build that. Like, what if it would take time to actually like go there and visualize and sense what it's like? And then sometimes we can realize that it's not really what we actually want. And we can
Yeah.
save so much time.
Do you have an example of that in your own life where you went ahead and you visualized what that would feel like and you're like, yeah, I'm going to pivot into something else because that actually isn't what I want in the end to feel and to be.
I mean, yeah, there have been some opportunities that I've gotten, but like we have talked about, I'm really mindful of saying yes to things.
Hmm.
Um, but a specific example, mm, I think I had this like intuition, like that's telling me like this is probably not the thing that I want to do because I'm following the hell yeah principle. If it doesn't feel like hell yeah, then I don't want to do it. It's like if it's not even close to hell yeah, then how can I even consider that?
Right. Hmm. What would you say to people that feel like they have to do a certain thing, even though it's not a hell yeah? How would you help them shift?
Hmm. I mean, I would ask a couple of questions like who says they have
Mm-hmm.
to help them understand like is it external or is it internal or why do they have to do that? And like what happens if they don't do it? It helps them like see different perspectives because they're making a statement. They have to do it. It's their program, right? It's
Yeah.
their belief, and that's how they operate. But if they don't question that, it just keeps driving them. So I would help them see like what would be the worst thing that would happen if they don't do it, like the worst thing.
Right.
And what happens very often is that it's it's insignificant. Like it doesn't really matter. Usually when they understand it, it works already. If it's like more serious, then maybe I would help them see like what are the odds of that thing happening,
Yeah.
right? And usually they
Hmm.
see that like it's almost zero. And then what I would also do is I would help them see what are the alternate costs? Like what do they have to say no to if they say yes to that thing? Because everything has a price.
Yeah.
If we say yes to something, we put time and energy and focus into something. So at the same time, we can't do another thing.
Yeah. You're actually saying no when you say yes to other things.
Yes, that's a really cool paradox, but I use as well. Like
Yeah.
saying yes is saying no, and saying no is yes. It's like
Yeah.
I love this mind games. We can reframe those things.
Yeah. Hmm.
So when you're saying no, you're actually saying yes to
Mm-hmm.
something more meaningful.
Mm-hmm. Would you share with us a time when you said a series of no's that maybe felt pretty difficult to say no to, that resulted in a lot of yeses in your life?
Yeah. The first thing that comes up is that, I said I love personal development and different events.
Yeah.
So I used to do a lot of those,
Mm-hmm.
like different events and gatherings and stuff like that. But now, I do receive a lot of invites, like especially on Facebook.
Right.
And I've had days when I get like 7 or 8 invites to different events. It's not like a usual day, but
Mm.
I've had days like that. I'm like, I mean, these events, they sound pretty cool, but if I would go to each one of those, like my day would be over. I wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah.
So I really have to say no to those things.
Mm-hmm.
And just recently, I saw an invite as well. And it was like in a moment, within a second, it was like, hell yeah, this is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
It required me to drive 4 hours one way and 4 hours back. But for me, there was no question about it. Like I didn't even matter why I had to go there, but I just felt that I
Right.
had to.
Mm.
And it was a gathering of two entrepreneurs, Estonians, who went to Thailand to
Yeah.
develop real estate and villas. And they had no experience like developing anything there. They just had the idea,
Right.
and they shared how challenging it was, like what they had to endure and what the setbacks were, and like they had times when they questioned whether they should continue and how it would look like. And it was really inspiring to see that. And that was a moment when I had to, when I said yes.
Yeah. So what I heard in that is that you really are tapping into your the feeling, and that you know in that moment, the more you tap into what hell yes actually means for you, the quicker you recognize it when it comes up. And then it makes all the no's worthwhile. Because like the challenge of, like, of course, of living a soul aligned life, living a life where we're actually doing something that brings meaning to the world, where we're transforming uncertainty into a legacy that actually is something we want to see, that has a positive impact on people's lives, that we have to tune into what that actually is, the hell yes. Like, what is it I love to hear? What is it I love to taste? What is it I love to do? Who are the people I love to hang out with? And a lot of times we shut down those things, feeling like we have to run a program of whatever we were told we had to do to have freedom and success, um, or whatever the definition of success that we've carried with us. And I love that because you're saying, like, oh, I actually tapped into and understood what my hell yes was. And it became easier to say yes to the things that really mattered, right? Like, it's so simple, right? And yet we forget to do that.
Yeah, that's why we say that, theory is simple, but practice is a little bit more challenging.
It's a bit
But
challenging.
I have a couple of ideas how I've been able to
Yeah.
tune that in. Yeah. One of the things is that like when we're having doubts, like is it a hell yeah or is it not a hell yeah?
Mm.
Usually it isn't because it's not so strong, right? It's like
Right. You're
right
thinking
on the
about it.
fence. It's like maybe it is, but it's like oh, it this one was so over the fence. It's like yeah, this is it, right? If it's
Yeah.
like so, it's like mm,
Mm.
you know, I could really wait a little bit more, like or something else. It's yeah. And another thing is like when we say like is it a hell yeah or not? Like um maybe we can ask a question, what isn't my hell yeah?
Mm.
Because for most people saying what they want is more challenging, but ask
Yes.
them what they don't want and they come up with a lot of things. It's like, okay, these things are not a hell yeah. So when they come, you can say
Right.
no to those easier. So, and you can flip them around what I don't want and flip it around what I want. It's like, this is your hell yeah. Like the
Mhm.
opposite of that.
Yeah, I run into that all the time. It's like the idea of like what I want is like really almost nefarious. Like we can't grasp onto it. It's a really something that feels like mist in the
Hmm.
wind, right? But when we think about what we don't want, it's like, yeah, that's definitely a hell no. And we can get to what we want through that more easily. I think part of the issue that comes up and has come up for me in my life is when I think about what I really want, it's scary. Because if I go after what I really want in life, the things I want to feel, the things I want to make an impact on, and I am maybe not enough. I don't have the tools I need. Because it matters so much to me, that feels scarier than doing something that's like, oh, I know I can do this,
Hmm.
and I can make my way sort of over there, but it feels safer. And I think that's,
I totally hear what you're saying. Yeah.
yeah. And I think that's what traps people in the, I'm going to go ahead and keep doing this business that makes me feel drained, disconnected, empty, because I know I can do it. And going after that yoga studio, that real estate in Bali, that you know, taking my family together and creating a community, that sounds a bit scary and uncertain. And so in those moments, I like to help people transform uncertainty by actually accepting that we live in an uncertain world and what feels certain is actually not. Because as soon as we realize that what feels safe actually isn't safe at all, can be quietly destroying our lives. That
Hmm.
thing that feels scary suddenly doesn't feel as scary. It's on the same plane as everything else.
Hmm. Really interesting because what I hear is that when you say like when you help people see that something is not safe and it's actually unsafe, then actually they get more safety because they are more prepared for that. It's
Yeah,
like a paradox. Yeah. They're holding on to the illusion, but it can break anytime, due
yeah,
to changes in the economy and technology, which is happening as we speak.
right. And so, and also like, how about the slow death of your soul, which you talked about? Like, it felt like a piece of me every time I went in was dying,
Mm,
right? We don't actually see that because it's slowly happening and accumulating time.
yeah.
And then you get to that point in the future, like you talked about future visioning, which helps too, where you realize I feel empty. I feel drained. Why are all my relationships a mess? Why does everything look amazing on the outside? It looks successful, it looks powerful, and yet it doesn't feel like it has any meaning because it's slowly accumulated over your lifetime where you just kept going towards what you felt you could do instead of what you might do if you followed your heart.
So yeah, and whenever people look back, they actually realize that the signs were all the way.
Oh,
They had
yeah.
the signs, but they weren't paying attention to that.
Hmm. True. Yeah. In my own life, I had a lot of signs that things were out of alignment and everything looked good on the outside. Design, build business, lots of awards, powerful spaces. I still create sacred spaces, right? But there were all of these hints along the way. I felt really drained. I felt empty. I felt disconnected. I felt strained, like he talks about in The Hobbit, butter spread over too much bread, right? All these signs, that there was something that was a deeper calling for my soul. And it was about giving back to the world and getting fulfillment at the same time. It was about having peace and passion. We're meant to actually live a beautiful life. We're meant to be in joy and laughter and be with our family and create abundance. And yet sometimes we feel like we have to choose one or the other. But eventually it all comes crashing down when it's out of alignment. It could be in 10 years, it could be in 5 years, it could be your entire life. And then you get to the end of your life and realize in the last segment of it what really matters to you. And some people never actually get there. And so it's like the work of like helping people realize through life book, through all the different categories, and also the work of tuning into our hell yeses, our soul, allows us to actually see all that before the time we have here, the finite time we have here, is gone.
And the fact is that none of us knows how much time we have.
Right.
We think we have a certain time. We think we have guaranteed time, maybe into the 80s or 90s or even 100 or something like this. But you're speaking about that, that the world is uncertain.
Mm.
So nothing is really certain except change. It's like people think that they have a certain amount of time to do those things, but they may not have it at that kind of time. And
Right.
that's why you're speaking that it's the only moment is now.
Yeah.
If it's any other moment, then it's just like it's nonsense, really.
Right. Right.
Hmm.
So, how do you help people embrace that and step into an understanding of that?
Yeah. One of the things that I do is I help them see their values, like who they are and what they stand for, and then to see like what are the things in their lives actually express these kind of values, like people and their projects
Yeah.
and their home and everything they say yes to and no to. And every single time we realize that they are doing things like based on the values, and if they feel that something is off, then probably this thing is not aligned with their values. So it's very revealing to know that, like who they are, because that's the moment when they understand how they make choices in life
Yeah. There's so
and
much,
why something feels off.
there's so
When they
much
feel something is off, they
attached.
don't know what is it,
Oh, yeah.
and then they can understand like
Mhm.
where is the conflict, what is my value, and where's the conflict with that specific thing.
Do you often find that people don't even know what their values are?
It's very common not to know. Yeah, it's not, you know, people were not taught this at school, that it's important to know that or to consciously choose your values because, I mean, the values, we pick them up from places, right? The environment, they are quite sticky. So we got to know where we pick them up from. Like, do we value security? Like for many people to go into entrepreneurship and do something on their own, like their value could be security and the false security, and it's really hard for them to take the leap
Yeah.
because their parents have been instilling, that you should play it safe, get them guarantees and everything from your company and so on.
I find that when you start working with values of people, sometimes not only do they not even know what they value, but when they start talking about the things, if I say, what experiences do you, in the past year have meant the most to you to get at their values, they can't name them. They can tell me an experience, but they can't name what those values actually are. And sometimes they can say simple things like, I value freedom, I value learning, I value growth. But then they're not sure how to take that and apply it to their lives, right? How do I take my value for freedom and apply that to I have a job, I have to work, to create something. What do you do in those scenarios?
Hmm. One of the things is that I help them see that, we have to know like what the end result is going to be, but we're gonna take small steps
Mm.
because we don't want to like just jump like over a cliff, we want to take baby steps.
Mm-hmm.
It's like what is that? Let's say the example of freedom. Like what does that mean to you? We can take it into smaller pieces. Like there's financial freedom, there's time freedom, location freedom, emotional freedom, food freedom. I mean, we could name a couple dozen freedoms, and what does it mean to them? And we can take smaller steps in terms of like time freedom. Maybe they can take like their a Friday afternoon off.
Yeah.
Maybe they can ask about that, make a request from their team or organization. Um, we can take it small steps. I think for most people, that's what works because we also know like these really famous personal growth gurus and so on. Like some of them, they are so like so aggressive and they are like so bold and so fast and powerful, and it works for them.
Yeah.
But for most people, it doesn't work.
Mm-mm. It doesn't stick
It's
often
it doesn't
if it's just
stick.
a
That's
belief.
the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. They get really hyped up and oh, we're gonna take over the world. But now it's like, oh, it's too much.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
them, it doesn't work. It's a small percentage of people who it works for. It's the best way for them to go the furthest, the fastest. But for most people, it doesn't. So what I actually do is just recently had an example for an entrepreneur. He's really successful. Like he has kids, he built a
Yeah.
new house and stuff like that. And he would like to be more consistent with exercise, like a simple thing. But he's been wanting to start running for a few years already, and
That's
it
good.
I really hasn't like been this sticking to
Yeah.
because him. It's like
Yeah.
and so
some
I actually teachers had say like,
like,
I had to
oh,
challenge
take
him
massive
to
action, right?
run for
Yeah.
30
But
days, take tiny action, and actually you're not
here's the
allowed to
trick.
do more.
It feels
It's
like a
like,
lot of
wow, that's
like a big
interesting. It's the
commitment.
opposite. But
Yeah. Yeah. And
they want to do
psychologically,
more.
I
They want to
invited
do
him
more,
to
but
run
yeah,
just a
hold
little
yourself
bit every
back
day.
because actually I've seen
yeah.
that
And
it
sometimes
builds up the
I put
urge.
a limitation.
Like you
If you
can't
put
do
on the
more than
running
five
shoes and the
minutes, like
clothes,
you
right.
can't
can't
do
do
that, and you go
that.
for a run for
I
5 minutes.
love
It's
it.
interesting because
It's
like,
like,
yeah,
oh,
because we
it felt
agreed that
pretty
you
good
will only
already.
run like,
Yeah.
now
I
you
don't know,
can't do
like
more. It
1.5
actually builds the
kilometers.
urge.
Yeah.
And the
After
next day
three
you actually
days, I
want to
asked
go
how
more,
it's
but
going. And he's
you
like,
can't. You're
oh,
just still
I
holding back.
did too much.
And it's another way to do
Right.
that.
Yeah, because then you do too
Like
much and then
his
it
legs
feels
were
like,
sore and stuff like that. I'm not saying
I
that
don't
this
know.
is the
He
best way
ran
to do
several
it, but I'm
times more.
saying that
Like, I think he
he
was
was so
so
enthusiastic
enthusiastic.
about it in how we work. And it was like he actually broke the rules. And he got an experience, nothing bad with it, but it was
Yeah,
an experience.
an
So I really
experience.
like this because it's like some teachers say like, oh, take massive action, right?
Yeah.
But take tiny action, and actually you're not allowed to do more. It's like, wow, that's interesting. It's the opposite.
Yeah,
And
and
they want to do more.
psychologically.
They want to do more, but yeah, hold yourself back because actually I've seen that it builds up the urge.
Mm-hmm.
If you put on the running shoes and the clothes and stuff like that, and you go for a run for 5 minutes, it's
Yeah.
like, oh, it felt pretty good already. And
Yeah.
now you can't do more. It actually builds the urge. And the next day you actually want to go more, but you can't. You're just still holding back. And it's another way to do that. And I'm not saying that this is the best way to do it, but I'm saying that we should be dynamic in how we work.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
not like one thing is the best solution for everybody. But if we sense who that person is, we can actually create a tailor-made solution for this person.
Yes.
If they have tried one solution already, we can try the opposite
Mm.
another way. Maybe it works perfectly.
Right, because it's
And
something they haven't tried.
yeah, and maybe they have tried a certain method or strategy for years, and they say that everybody says it should work, but it's not working for me. So let's try something else.
Yeah, because you're unique. You're not the same as
Yeah,
this other person, and that worked for them, but that's not going to work for you. You have your unique set of beliefs and things that you think you can and can't do from your own experience that your mind is going to predict and get in the way of. But I love that because if we are creating some new rituals in our life that are actually going to take us to a place of being more connected to our heart, our soul, our path that feels aligned, then if we can just grab onto the idea that we any amount of effort counts, that if we're just going to commit to the 30 days or the 60 days, in the act of doing it, our brain starts to go into a place at the same time every day where it's like, I'm ready for that. And it takes a little bit for the brain to be into that mode, kind of like when you're driving down a dirt road and there's ruts from the truck that drove, right? We kind of fall into those ruts when we've actually committed to a certain amount of time every day to create something, but then we take the pressure off. When I wrote my book, it was,
Mhm.
I'm going to write every day, but I can write one word, one sentence, one paragraph, or more. And if I write one word, I've done my ritual.
Mhm.
And that just like took all the pressure off. And the crazy thing was most of the time I would write more than one word because as soon as you wrote a word, you want to write another word, right? But what I found was that my mind at that time that I had set a commitment to and that ritual would automatically go into writing mode. After about 7 days, commitment to it, doing it every day. But I feel like it's the decision, the commitment, just like the fire walk, it's like the decision, the moment you're standing there in front of the fire and you decide you're going across no matter what, that's the moment you change. It's not the moment that you're on the fire, it's the decision point, the commitment.
Mhm. It
How?
is. It is.
Yeah, sorry, I'm getting excited here.
I can see that. I can see that.
Because
Yeah.
it's such a big thing. People say all the time, I'm a big proponent that we are the architects of our experience. But the missing component is the commitment. It's like dabbling. I'm just gonna dabble. I'm gonna try this thing.
Mm.
I'm just gonna dabble. The
Mm.
problem with dabbling is there's no commitment. There can be no transformation. There can be no expansion or evolution without that first commitment point.
I agree. Like if creating a masterpiece would have a recipe, which I think it does in a way, it's like commitment is an essential ingredient. I've never seen anything like without commitment. If like anytime I look at that, like even if it's like a simple recipe, like commitment is still there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's always there. And what I love about from your share is that when we give ourselves like the experience of winning, like when we say that we're like writing one word, like we get a
Yeah.
win experience, like oh, I'm actually doing more than I promised, right? I've seen and I know that from experience, like from my programs and stuff, like in my life experience, I've had so many goals that I didn't fulfill,
Mm.
and they really stack up, right? It's like a burden of failures, like a lot of
Yeah.
them. It's like subconsciously, I don't even believe I can set another one. It's like I don't believe that. But if I give myself a lot of like things, like smaller commitments, smaller goals, when I accomplish that, like actually, I build up my self-confidence.
Yeah.
It's very evident in the weight loss industry. I know a few people who have tried like literally hundreds of methods and they
Right.
have failed. So their belief is like nothing works.
Mm-hmm.
So why bother trying even? Why bother doing anything? And now
Mm.
what they need is like the small wins to build up the confidence. It doesn't happen like
Yeah.
in one fell swoop. It's just like it needs a little bit of a bit of time.
Mm. Yeah. That's an interesting concept because we have entrenched beliefs that come from our experiences in life. We have those beliefs that have so much evidence behind them that because
Mhm.
our brain looks for the evidence, we don't actually step into the possibility of it being different. And when you're talking about that, I'm just thinking about how the small wins, then when we take the pressure off, it's the peace part of masterpiece, because there is the mastery part where we're mastering
Hmm.
our energy, our time, our values, our family, all the things that matter. And then the peace part actually comes from taking the pressure off so that we can actually play a little bit in the in betweens and then get a few little wins in the playing that actually take us in a completely different direction. It doesn't actually take as much as we think to shift something in our minds, especially if we have the feeling in our body. It's like, ooh, like you talked about the hell yes. And you're like, I knew
Hmm.
instantly because I felt this like within my body expansion, like I'm going. It's 4 hours, it doesn't matter. I'm there. I'm already there, right? Um, and it's like, here I am. I have, built something. I've been successful from the outside, but I feel empty. Now I have this entrenched belief. I've tried a bunch of things that, to go and build the yoga studio or whatever that masterpiece is for
Mm.
me, right? And I have this belief that I've tried everything. It's not going to work. If I just start with this, I take the pressure off and I just start playing with just one thing that I'm committed to. I'm just going to show up every day for it
Mhm.
for 30 days, for 60 days. And I'm actually just going to take the pressure off and see what happens. It can turn so quickly as you experience in the body a different feeling.
I love that. Yeah, because you're tapping into taking something that shouldn't be so serious. We can take it as a game or as an experiment, as like we can tap into like the beginner's mind. Be fresh. Don't start from like any sort of like assumption. Just go there with a pure state, even like a childlike state.
Yeah, no expectation.
Because like a child doesn't think like whether they should do something or not. Or is it a good idea, or is it going to work out? Or they don't want to like rationalize every single piece of that. They just play and experiment,
Mm.
and they have fun as well doing that. And I
Mm.
think that's an essential ingredient as well. Like it's really dull to do something that we don't really enjoy for long periods of time, for years. It's like constantly pushing ourselves to do something. And even if it's challenging, even if it's like a workout or doing something business-wise that's scary, like we still we can find ways to make it fun, to make it playful.
Mm. Yeah, what are some ways in which you make things playful when you're looking at, say, an entrenched belief that you want to shift?
Mhm. I think one of those games is, whenever I have like contacted some people, maybe I don't know them as well, but I'm like in the past I used to think of what do they think of me, or like why am I contacting them?
Right.
And then I realized like how my own mind was coming in the way, and I took it as an experiment. It's like, okay, maybe I'm seeing like what my mind thinks, what they're thinking,
Mm.
and how the experience actually goes. And I started comparing those things.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like,
Mm.
oh, that's complete lie. It's like made up,
It's
totally
made
made
up.
up.
It's all made up.
Yeah, yeah. And it's like, oh, other people are thinking that I don't know. I'm contacting them for a specific reason, but it's really not the case. It's in my own head only.
Yeah. Mm. I love that, comparing what the actual experience is with what the mind is actually saying. It's separating yourself from your mind and the constant chatter that goes on that who is actually speaking to us anyway? In the mind, because it'll take both sides, it'll tell you one thing and then it'll tell you the other side. It'll switch around because its sole purpose is to give you some kind of certainty in an uncertain world. And it actually isn't something that you have to believe is the truth. Though we often take it as ourselves, it's not actually ourselves. Uh, you know, you and I both heart-led entrepreneurs following our soul's path, know that our heart and the alignment of it is what drives the masterpiece, what drives peace and passion, what allows us to get fulfillment and bring positive change in the world and send ripples out. Um, but it's like that separation from our mind and understanding that we're not our mind allows us to be sort of objective and to laugh at it and to, not take it so seriously. Like, wow, look at what it's doing now. It's doing calisthenics to tell me that what I'm doing isn't going to work. It's giving me all the evidence. And yet, right at the moment, I'm actually feeling a small win. I feel incredibly warm or, uh, you know, grounded or happy. Huh, that's interesting. What's going on there? Um, Tell us a little bit about the ripples that you would like to create in the world with your soul's path. That if you were no longer here, that would continue to impact people in a positive way. It would be the thing you want to tell people, share with them.
Hmm. Well, like just a few things come up, like writing a book, for example. But I would actually like to create an organization. I'm saying organization because I don't even use the word business. Maybe it's a business, but it would be an organization that would develop some sort of like methodology for developing people. And there would be people who constantly evolve, and the organization is expanding. And I know a couple of examples of these kind of methods. Like for me, WildFit is one of those.
Mm.
It's like a health program, but I mean like WildFit is doing incredible thing in the world, like elevating the consciousness for health for people, and it's constantly expanding. Like there's a system how there are even more people coming on, and then there's like they're in pretty much every country in the world now, and they've changed so many lives. So that's like kind of like a model that I would like to do in personal development, so that it would keep going even if I'm not here anymore for decades and decades. So this
Mm.
is something that's really, really like deep inside of me. Like that's like the desire that I have.
Yeah.
And I just love giving people the gift of being in that kind of organization where they can be their authentic selves, because everybody is. And so it gives them like the safe container to do that. So I don't know exactly like what this organization does, but I know it's like a conscious organization that keeps evolving. And I have a couple of ideas what it could be doing, and that's evolving. And when I think of making ripples in the world as well, I'm thinking of children as well. My
Mm.
children. I have a child, but I would like to probably have two more kids. So if I'm not there, they are here, and they would like keep carrying the legacy that I have built.
So, what are the small steps you're taking towards that masterpiece right now?
One of the things that I'm doing is that I'm putting energy into building an entrepreneur community. And even that could be like the seed of the organization that I'm talking about. And I've been having this within me for a couple of years, but this year I've really gone deeper with that. And I've engaged different entrepreneurs who are really conscious and heart driven.
Yeah.
And we have a small group of co-founders, and we're like developing the idea. It's called Truepreneurs, and
Truepreneurs.
the
Love it.
Truepreneurs, and the main idea, it's a little bit too vague still, but it's like building something meaningful while staying true to who you are
Mm-hmm.
and living a life with no regrets.
Yeah, and that you don't have to do one or the other. You don't have to build something meaningful and lose who you are.
Exactly.
And you don't have to be who you are and feel like you can't build something meaningful. Because we often feel like it's either or, when actually we can do all those things when we're in alignment. Yeah, that's
Mm,
beautiful. Truepreneur. Wonderful.
Truepreneurs, yeah.
Mm.
And yeah, this thing, and it resonates with entrepreneurs because they can feel it,
Mm.
even though they're building a business, but it's not like, it's not really that, they're
It's
feeling
not.
something is off.
Yeah.
They can feel it, but they don't know what it is. And I think we're still pretty early with that. Now, I can see occasionally some entrepreneurs and companies who are doing that. Just
Mm.
yesterday, I saw that building an ethical company, staying true to their values. They know exactly what their values are and they're living by it. And for that same reason, they don't even take any venture funding because they don't want to be
Yeah.
influenced. And it's incredible because they have built a company within 6 years that's doing 4 million in revenue and 1.8 million in profit.
Yeah.
Like that's incredible with a small team
Yeah.
by doing exactly like what they should be doing, that what they feel is right. And it's working.
Mm. What do you feel is right for you?
Hmm. What is right is speaking out my truth, even if it's uncomfortable. Um, what is right is to not do something for to get money, to do something that's not aligned with me. That's what's right. I mean, what's right is setting an example in every way that I can, because I know I have to walk my walk.
Yeah.
And what is right is like living in harmony with nature.
Mm. Mm.
And I can see that, the companies who are thinking about sustainability, I think they're going to do really well. And I can already see that because I would say at this very moment, it's still like feels like an option. It's optional to be sustainable,
Right.
but
Not
we're
optional.
pretty much there. Like it's not optional anymore. It's essential. It's like we can't
Yeah.
do any other way.
Yeah.
It's like that. That's right. To use materials and like ways to manufacture and do things where we can actually use a circular economy.
Mm. Yes. Mindset, environment, energy, all those things are required to create a masterpiece. We have to master our mindset. We have to become the masters of our energy, saying yes, saying no to things that don't align. And then the environment in which we build around us, the people around us, and the environment we actually do our work in, if it inspires it and it grounds us and aligns us, then that allows us to come from a grounded place, not from a place of ego, but a place of what actually matters, what we value, what we feel is right for the whole world, not just ourselves. And then we're in community. So when you talked about your ripples, I was thinking about this community that you're creating. And sometimes if we hold a framework loosely, we actually allow for all the things that can go in between the framework. So we stay aligned and true to what matters, what feels right. And yet we allow for all the magic to happen where there can be co-creation and
Mm,
synchronicity and synergy and things that we
mm.
never expected that would unfold from that.
I know that. Yeah, it's a dance between like the structure and the flow.
Hmm.
It's like the framework and the magic. It's not one or the other. It's both, and
Yeah.
we have to make room for both of them. Yeah,
This comes
I
up a
like that.
lot. It's the I want to blueprint. I want to know exactly what steps to take. I want to map it all out for the next 5 years. And that sounds great, right?
Yeah,
But
good luck with
actually,
that.
in practice, it doesn't work, right?
Well, now we have AI, for example.
Yeah.
It's just disrupting everything. Like every day you're reading like what
Yeah.
kind of industries just evaporated or transformed like overnight. It's like, wow.
Mm. But you just gave an example of walking that talk, of holding the framework for what you value and what you feel is right and positive change in the world and creating a community. But you're also not mapping out every detail. You're allowing it to unfold. How
Mm.
did you get to that place of actually allowing the unfolding?
Oh, that's been a long journey. But I can say like one specific thing that had a big influence. It was reading The Surrender Experiment by Michael Singer. And that was a game changer that allowed me to really start believing and seeing that it's possible to live like that. Because I'm definitely like more the logical, analytical person.
Yeah.
And I was planning out everything like all the time. Like, and then it was like, oh, but that's complete opposite, not
Mhm.
planning anything and allowing things to happen. And one of the things that I saw from Michael Singer was that what emerged into his life, he committed to that. So we're talking about commitment. His recipe
Yeah.
was simple, but the
Right.
commitment was there. It
Mm.
wasn't like about the how. The how was the commitment, like seeing the signs of life. Where is the flow of life going? Where does the higher consciousness want to emerge? And
Mm.
then do his own part to leverage that to co-create with the flow of life.
Ah.
Yeah, that was a game changer. And after that, like I've seen people actually live that surrender lifestyle,
Yeah.
and there's so much magic in their life. So it's possible. And also my own experience, like we say that like beliefs feed on evidence.
Yes.
Um, Michael Singer is living his life, like his whole life is the surrender experiment. But what if we take it one day, like one day, I'm surrendering for one day,
Yeah.
or 5 days, or one week, and see what happens. It's
Yeah.
like we start getting our own experience, what can happen without trying to force anything. We know
Yeah.
our values, we say yes to those things, but we don't have to like know exactly how it's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
And like you shared before as well, like when we're so focused, like we have a tunnel vision for something, like a specific goal, we just or one method, then we actually are doing the disservice because we don't see the other ways how it could also happen.
Yeah.
And for me, that's been my own experience, like trusting and knowing that things will happen, and they have happened.
Ah, yes. That is
Yes,
that is a magic key.
yeah,
Trusting
and
and know.
the program that it's possible, the evidence, the belief that it's getting more evidence, so it's getting stronger.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's perfect. Kris, it's been so great to have this dialogue with you on Masterpiece Cafe, where we are the architects of our future experience and we lead a soul-led life to create peace and passion and help others to do the same. I can't wait for all the things that we could co-create together. I know there's been a lot of opportunities for us, so I'm looking forward to that. Where do people find you to work with you, to help build this community, to be a part of what you're doing?
Well, they can find me on Facebook and LinkedIn, and yeah, that's where I like share what I'm up to. and they can message me there. And yeah, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Always really high energy.
You
Always ideas are flowing, and also taking action as well. Yeah,
Yes.
being committed, staying on our journey. Always a pleasure being with you.
Yeah, same. Likewise. Being with like-minded entrepreneurs making a difference in the world is a huge piece for me. So, Kris, it's been wonderful. Have a great day. And I'll send you the recording after. I'll clip and put an intro and an outro. And I'll send it to you before it goes live. Let's see what we can create.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
It's been a great co-creation. I love
yeah, it
that.
has. It's been awesome. It's so good
Yeah.
to see you. So I'll let you go.
So good to see you
Bye.
as well. All right. Bye bye.
If something in this conversation stirred you, don't rush past it. It's often the beginning of alignment. You can explore more at cheristringer.com. And remember, stay grounded, stay ignited, and keep building what matters most. Until next time on Masterpiece Cafe.